Hey, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network and I'll Take You Over podcast. Hey, once again, it's a two live crew. Doug Edwards and Mark Manley. What's up, Dougie?
Well,
Man,
hey,
already pointing at the North Carolina hat.
we the only ones that can hang, man. That's all it is.
Hey,
Hey,
we are dedicated, ain't we?
yeah, we know the most anyway, so
That's
hey,
right.
the fans ain't missing nothing. They still getting the best info.
Just all your knowledge between these two big heads right here, right?
That's right.
All right, man. Hey, what we're gonna do first is review the AFC and NFC championship games. Uh, Man, what some games we had, but I got you got to feel sorry for the city of Detroit and Gambling Dan, as I'm gonna call him. I
Yeah,
don't know if I would have made the gambles he did. I know he's been doing it all year, but man, you're in a big time game, and I would say take the points when you can.
definitely. I don't know what he was thinking. I call him Dan. I like to gamble, Campbell.
There you go. That
he
should be his nickname.
He thinks he's Mike Fink, and if y'all don't know who Mike Fink was, look him up. But he thinks he's the riverboat gambler. And that's all well and good sometimes, but not in a NFC championship game, man. You can go up 3 scores, keep the momentum, an easy kick. I mean, 45, 46-yard field goal. You got to take that.
Yeah.
You go up 3 scores, keep the momentum. You can't. And I know the wide receiver could have caught the pass, this and that. And then why do you run the ball when you got your 3 timeouts left? You got a minute left. You're down there on 2 yard line. Why do you call a running play? He had to burn a timeout there. He could have got the ball back. You know, I don't know.
And then you look at the other side. Baltimore needs to be kicking themselves in the ass for just not being composed, man. A lot of stupid ass penalties, man, especially Flowers.
Yeah, turnovers cost them. They got away. Seemed to me they got a little bit away from what they do. Their defense showed up, defense played, but on offense, it seemed like they got away from what they really do. But can't give it to Kansas City defense.
Yeah, for sure. They tell you what, Kansas City has played last 3 games better than they have most of the year, man. They've really put it together the most important time of the year when you should put it together.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just say I hope everybody listened to. I gave really we picked more, but I gave 4 things to really concentrate if you wanted to put money down on. I hit 3 out of the 4. The over on golf completions, the over on the Detroit San Francisco, the under on the Kansas City Baltimore score, and I missed, which is surprising. The Justin Tucker only got 1 field goal. If he'd got one more field goal, I'd have hit 4 for 4 on them key bets there.
Yeah. Uh, Man, I think I only hit one of my bets. Yep, that's all I did, man. So I had a bad pick day, but hey, it happens, man.
I'm on.
I just learned to listen to you.
Hey, well, that's 3 out of 4 is pretty good if you don't parlay them. If you parlay them and you miss one, you're done.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'd
true.
say don't parlay. Parlay to me is a sucker. You pull them every once in a while just to hope, but it's really sucker bets on them parlays. But I will have everybody some good prop bets and stuff for the Super Bowl coming up whenever we talk about that. I'm gonna hit several of them too. I got a good feeling.
Yeah, Super Bowl special next Wednesday night. We'll be breaking down the Super Bowl and going over some crazy picks. One of my picks I'm going to throw out there is the over and under of how many times we see Taylor Swift.
Oh, they're gonna have a yeah. I hadn't heard a number out on that, but they're gonna
Me either.
have.
I'm saying 5.
Well,
And
they'll
I'll
have a
take the
number.
over.
They'll have a number that you can bet on. I guarantee.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the Super Bowl is great because you can bet on everything. You can bet on how long the national anthem is. You can bet on what color the Gatorade or whatever they dump on the winning coach's head. You can bet on almost anything.
Yeah.
It's
Who,
crazy.
who, who wins the coin flip?
Yeah. Yep.
All that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have some good advice for y'all coming up.
That's right. Gonna try to win you people some money for the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is one of the biggest gambling games of the year.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't.
article before we come on air about how many private planes will be flying to Las Vegas.
I heard. I heard of.
Yeah, they've had to add parking out on another piece of land, but anywhere from $750 to $15,000 to park them planes.
Yeah, I heard that earlier that they'd ran out of space for private planes. Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy. And
Yeah. Hey,
a ticket's running about 6,500 or so, I think.
yeah. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
You can't. Me and you can't go.
No, no, I sure can't.
Hey, but if somebody wants to send us, we'll be glad to go.
We'll go report. We will
That's
definitely
right.
report back
We
and
use
give
our
you.
media pass.
Yeah, we'll give you the insider info for sure.
That's right. Hey, we'll give you behind the screen, behind the scenes shots and everything.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get some score updates here for you in basketball. I don't see nothing right now. I'm over here buffering. All right, so let's talk about some basketball, man. Let's go over the top 25. TCU comes in at number 25 at 15-5. Alabama Crimson Tide comes in at 14-6. Oklahoma at 23, 15-5. BYU's at 22, 15-5. Dayton at number 21 at 16-3. And Florida Atlantic, they're creeping back up now. After falling down, they are at number 20 at 17-4. Any surprises in those 20 through 25, Doug?
No, not right off of there. I know one that's going to pop up in there pretty good come next polls, though, as long as they don't have too big a letdown Saturday. That's be South Carolina. I mean,
Yeah.
they've had two huge wins in the last couple of weeks, and we're sitting at 18-3 record. I'm really surprised they didn't break in there this week. You know, around 24, 25.
They're actually they're at number 26 according to this. So there you go.
They're leading the others receiving both.
Yeah. They're in the next tier. All right, number 19, New Mexico at 18-3. Baylor at 18, at 14-5. Utah State, very surprising team at number 17. They're 18-2 on the year. Auburn at 16, 16-4. Texas Tech at 16-3. So that is 19 through 15. Any comments on those?
No, not much there.
Surprised to see Utah State. Have we ever seen Utah State in top 25?
It seems like they have been in the past. They've had some pretty good teams out there. What they 19-2 or something like that?
They are 18-2.
18-2. Okay.
They might have played last night, though. I ran this yesterday morning, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I was thinking they only had a couple of losses. So.
My surprise is Auburn. They fell 8 spots.
Yeah, they're on kind of a little slide right now.
Yeah. All right, number 14, the Illini, 15-5. Creighton at 13, 16-5. And here's a big move this week. The biggest mover, up 11 spots. Those Cyclones from Iowa State. As they are 16-4 and moved up to 12. Arizona fell 2 spots to 11. Kentucky is at number 10, 15-4, and they fell 4 spots. And Kentucky is actually playing Florida right now, and a good battle. What is that score update there, Dougie? You got one?
73-72 Florida.
How much time left?
5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Woo! So Florida Gators looking for the upset.
This is at Rupp too.
Dang. Yeah. So number 9, Marquette, 15-5. Kansas continues to slide. They moved down another spot. They are 16-4 and continue to lose at home. And the number 7 team in the nation, my Duke Blue Devils, at 15-4. They moved up 5 spots, and they got a big one we're going to talk about later on against your Tar Heels. Wisconsin at 6, 16-4. And the Tennessee Vols, who continue to struggle, are at 15-4. Any thoughts on those, Dougie?
No, it seems this year it's kind of scary to be in the top 10 when you play an unranked team because there's been so many top 10 teams lose. It just seems harder and harder to win, especially on the road this year for everybody. Purdue, even at home tonight, had to go to overtime against Northwestern. I mean, who would have thought a number 2 team right there in the nation, they had to just battle it out at home. But, yeah, it's a lot of parity this year.
Yeah, you got that right. The best thing, that's one good thing about the NIL, what they've done. A lot of
Yeah.
players staying closer home where they can make money, and a lot of teams that wasn't getting them good athletes are now getting them. People are
Right.
stepping up. You look
Well,
like, go ahead.
and you got some like Edie and Baycott. The NBA ain't on them big centers right now. Well, heck, they can make more money coming back to college than
That's
going
right.
to G League or who wants to go play in Turkey or somewhere.
That's right.
So it's keeping people around a little bit longer too.
Bosnia,
You see, yeah, you seeing
Yugoslavia.
a few more 4-year players. I mean, some of them now with the COVID stuff, that's fixing to end, but there's some 5-year players on that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I see some of these new guys, they might stay off 4 years now. Hell, you can go in and come out and be a millionaire. Shit.
Right. And with the NBA only having, what is there, 60, 30 teams, and there's only 2 rounds, so like 60 draft spots. Second round, I don't think is guaranteed money, are they?
No.
First, if you're first rounder, I could kind of understand, especially if you're a lottery pick, I could see you go. But yeah, some of them, might be second rounders, might not. They're going to stay in college. They can make 500,000 or whatever to stay another year in college. That's better than G League money, two-way player money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right, number 4, Houston. They actually got one first place vote. They're 18-2 now. North Carolina, your Tar Heels, 17-3. Make that 17-4 now.
Yeah.
And Purdue at number 2, 19-2. And then the Huskies continue to be number 1 at 18-2. UConn looking to repeat, and they might do it, man. That UConn team is tough.
They're legit for sure. They definitely look like the number 1 team to me right now.
Yeah. All right, man, we're going to get on with our college basketball picks, but first we're going to bring in our special guest picker all the way from Milford, Tennessee, by way of Mosquito Joe's, Mr. Eddie Derrick. Look at that.
There we go.
What's up, Doug? I wanted to remind you.
Hey, that's all right. You know what? I really didn't think that I really never, I'm not Arkansas fan, so I'm not delusional. Then I never really thought that we were going 20-0 in the ACC. So,
you're going to have a second loss in a few days.
Right. I say we'll get to that game later, but I say we won't drop a spot or 2 after we win Saturday. But like I said, we'll get to those picks later on.
Oh, Eddie is decked out for the show. Hey, Eddie, man, we appreciate you joining us tonight, man.
Man, thank
y'all for having me.
If I'd have known who the special picker was, I'd have dressed a little more than just a hat.
Hey.
There you go. We love it, man. We love it. We thank Eddie for joining us. Hey, let's get on with the picks. First pick is going to be the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Mississippi State at 14-6, 3-4 in the conference. Alabama 14-6, 6-1 in the conference. Mississippi State at 14.4% chance. Alabama at 85.6. Mississippi State led by Hubbard at 14.9 points a game. Sears leads the way for Bama with 20 points. Rebounding-wise, Bell leads the way for Mississippi State at 7.1 a game. And Nelson with Alabama with 6. Mississippi State's averaging 74.2. Alabama 89.7. Last 5, Mississippi State beat Auburn 64-58 in a big win the other day. And they lost to Florida. They beat Vanderbilt, lost to UK, and they lost to Alabama earlier in the year. Alabama's last 5 beat LSU Tigers, Auburn Tigers, lost to Tennessee Vols. They beat the Mizzou Tigers and the Mississippi State Bulldogs earlier in the year, as we just mentioned. With all that being said, I'm going to take the Alabama Crimson Tide. Who you got, Dougie?
Well, Alabama had a good comeback win tonight. Just earlier, they beat Georgia, so that put them up to 7-1. They're leading the SEC. Their non-conference was horrible, and here we've got Mississippi State, unpredictable. They play good sometimes. Predictors only got them at 14% chance to win.
Yeah.
But
that was before their upset last night or Saturday, wasn't it? No, it was after.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They got beat by Ole Miss last night. Yeah.
Okay.
Close game, good game, but it was at Ole Miss. But Mississippi State, they're another. Georgia Tech, them Yellow Jackets, they ain't stung too many people this year. But Mississippi State's another one that they did get, and another one they got was Duke. We got the Dookie down here. All dressed out. Well, he got stung by them Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets too earlier in the year. So
hey, he works for a company that can take care of pests, don't you, Eddie?
That's right.
They should have sent Mosquito Joe to that game then. But yeah. Anyway, with all that being said, this game being at Alabama is what's going to swing it for me. I'm going to go with Alabama as well to win this game, just because they're playing at home. I hate to pick them, but I got to go with them.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Well, and one thing y'all didn't cover, Mississippi State is 0-5 on the road. I'm going Bama.
There you go. Yeah. Short and sweet, baby. You can't argue that point, can you?
Hey, they're due. They're due. They're due. That's the due.
They're long overdue. They're like Mizzou trying to win a conference game.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mizzou, they're in trouble now. Woo. Another SEC games next on the board. South Carolina, 17-3, 5-2 in the conference, make it 18-3 now, I believe. 6-2 in the conference. Georgia Bulldogs, 14-6, 4-3 in the conference. Matchup predictor: South Carolina, 38. Wow. And Georgia, 61. Leader, point-wise, is Johnson for South Carolina, averaging 15 a game. Abdul Rahim, the guard for Georgia, leads the way with 13.4. Team stats: South Carolina, 73 a game. Georgia, 77. They kind of even there, man. Last 5, South Carolina beat Mizzou, UK, Arkansas. Lost to this Georgia team earlier in the year. And beat Mizzou in overtime. Georgia's last 5, lost to Florida, beat LSU, lost to Kentucky, beat South Carolina, and lost to Tennessee. Man, I'm just going to take South Carolina. I think they're going to win on the road. Well, give me the Gamecocks. Yeah, Doug speechless.
No, I'm writing you down there.
He can't write and talk at the same time.
I got to keep you honest, Yeah, South Carolina's on a roll, and I think they're going to make if they win this game on the road at Georgia, I think they make a huge jump from unranked, into the there's only a couple 3 teams that's got a better record. Houston's got 2 losses. The only few teams, Utah State's I think's got 2 losses. UConn, Purdue, maybe do they have 2 or 3?
Purdue's got 2, I believe.
2. There's 3 to 4 teams that's got less losses than South Carolina, and South Carolina's got some of the best wins of any team. But with that being said, I think this streak ends Saturday. I'm going to take Georgia at home. They should have had one tonight. They should have had one against Alabama, and I think it's going to make them knuckle down, and they're going to really get this game. And it's a matchup thing. Like you said, they've already beat South Carolina once, so it's kind of in their head. I'm going to go with Georgia at home.
South Carolina's looking for revenge. Lost to them at home. They're going to get this one with ease. Jump in the top 15 next week.
Ooh, there you go. They're going to jump big time in the polls.
If they win that one, they really will. I expect them to be up around 15, area myself.
Yeah,
all right,
winning at Tennessee.
That's big.
Yeah.
All right, next game on the schedule is a Big East. UConn Huskies, 18-2, 8-1 in the conference against the St. John's Red Storm, 13-7, 5-4. UConn, 61.6%. St. John's, 38.4. Newton leads the way for UConn with 15.8 a game. Soriano for St. John's at 16.4. Point-wise, UConn averaging 82 a game. St. John's, 77. Points allowed, they're both pretty good on the defensive side, as UConn's only giving up 64. St. John's giving up 69. UConn's last 5, they beat Xavier, Villanova, Creighton, Georgetown, and Xavier again. St. John's went on a 3-game skid after they beat Villanova, and then they lost to Marquette, Seton Hall, Creighton before beating Providence. There's no way in hell they beat UConn. Enough said. Go Huskies.
Well, now look out. Hold up, Mark. Now, this is in Madison Square Garden, one of the most famous sports arenas in the history of the world. Now, it's up there with the Coliseum in Rome. And you got Rick Pitino now at St. John's. Them Red Men are storming back. He's going to get them back on the map.
All the old Nick fans might boo his ass out of there for what he did for them.
but with that being said, he hadn't had time yet. It's going to take him a little while longer to work that magic over there at St. John's. And I think he can eventually start getting some players in there. There's surely some money around over there. You know, that's what it's about nowadays, it seems like. But yeah, but UConn definitely looks like the best team in the nation to me right now and overall. And we saw them, North Carolina. That's the only team we lost to this year. We ran out of time on the other games, 3 games, but that team beat us. That is the only team so far this year to beat us. But so I am definitely taking UConn. They made a believer out of me. They're the defending champs, and you know, I think they roll here Saturday.
I just assumed the refs beat y'all in that game too.
No.
Oh, Teddy Valentine, ain't it?
The Huskies beat us in that game. I won that game.
Hey, it came Valentine's Day early for North Carolina.
Hey, UConn is 3-2 on the road. Both losses on the road. Like you said, it's going to be rowdy in that arena. UConn's going to smoke them.
Community lock.
All right. We like community locks. Nobody out on that island. Yeah. No rescue attempt needed.
I'm on that Georgia island. Tabby Island.
We're going to go to one of the best conferences there is for basketball. The ACC, Virginia Cavaliers and the Clemson Tigers. Virginia, 15-5, 6-3 in the conference. Clemson, 13-6, 3-5 in the conference. Virginia has a 27.4%. Clemson's having a good year by their standards, 72.6. Beekman, the guard for Virginia, averaging 12.9, and Hall, the center for Clemson, is the man, 19.6. Virginia averaging only 65 points a game. As we know, they are always around the 60-point range and have been since their coach got there. Clemson averaging 80.2 a game, so they can fill the basket up. Defensive-wise, Virginia holds opponents to 57, while Clemson gives up 73 a game. Last 5, Cavaliers have won 4 of 5, beating Louisville, beating North Carolina State, beating those Yellow Jackets, and beating the Hokies, and losing to Wake Forest. Clemson's last 5, they lost to Duke in a good one, 72-71.
That was the
beat Florida State, lost to the Yellow Jackets, 93-90 in double overtime, beat Boston College, and then lost to Virginia Tech. This game is at Clemson. And we all know that little arena they call St. John Arena. Is it? What is it called?
Little John.
Little John Arena. It's hard to win in, so I'm going to take Clemson.
Well, you can make that 5 in a row now for Virginia. They handled they handled business tonight. So they've won 5 in a row. They're back to playing Tony Bennett basketball, and it's all about defense, defense, defense. Like you said, 57 point something points per game is what they allow. Uh, they're just on a roll. Clemson, you never know what you can get. They might be down because they got screwed pretty good on that game at Duke. Phantom foul gave them 2 free throws to win it at the end. It happens a lot. But anyway, with all that being said, Clemson has this All-American kid named P.J. Hall. And I think he's going to be a little too much. I think he's just going to provide just enough offense to get Clemson over the hump at home. So I'm going with Clemson also.
Man, I'm with both of y'all. PJ Hall, 20 and 10. Too much for him.
Yeah.
Community lock.
PJ is good. He's got Clemson rocking and rolling. Little John will be rocking and rolling too. All right, we're going to move on to Utah State versus San Diego State. Utah State is 18 and 2, 6 and 1 in the conference. San Diego State 16 and 4, 5 and 2. I have not seen Utah State play, but I have seen the Aztec play. Utah State has a 30.2%. San Diego 69.8. Osabor for Utah State leads the way with 18.5 points a game and 9.7 rebounds. Ledee leads the way for San Diego State in both categories. He's averaging right at 20.9 and then 8.7 on the boards. Utah State is averaging 82.6 a game. San Diego State 76.3. Points allowed is damn near even as Utah State 68.8 and San Diego State 66.8. Utah State's last 5, they beat Boise State in overtime 90-84. They beat Fresno State 83-62. They lost to New Mexico 99-86. They beat the Running Rebels and they beat Wyoming. San Diego State's last 5, they beat Wyoming. They lost to that Boise State team. So there's a common opponent. They beat Nevada. They lost to New Mexico. So both teams lost to New Mexico.
It's
San
hard
Jose
to win
State.
in that pit.
Yeah. Albuquerque.
Yeah. That pit is hard to win in, man.
Yes, it
New
is.
Mexico's got a good team this year, too. Sure do.
With that being said, I'm taking the Aztec and San Diego State just for a good old Marshall Faulk. Marshall.
I sure thought I had me one here on you, man. Because, you think Utah State coming in, and I got them at 19 too. I think they won one late last night. Yeah, but ranked team. I figured for sure you'd take Utah State, but I got to go with the home team, the Aztecs too. Jaden Ledee is just going to be a little too much to me for Utah State with a home crowd behind him. I think he's going to have a big game, score close to 30, averaging 20 right at 21. I think he ups it to 30 or 30 plus in this game here. And I think he's just a little too much, and the team's just a little too much. San Diego State gets over the hump, wins that game.
And I had San Diego State, but we can't have another community lock. So 10 and 1 at home for San Diego State. Utah State's won me some money this year, so I'll ride them. Go against the grain.
All righty.
We might have to put some money on Utah State then Saturday when we get there, huh?
Well, we had all community locks except I took Georgia, and now with that one.
There we go. All right, here we go. We're going to go back to the SEC this time. Auburn Tigers at 16 and 4, taking on the Ole Miss Rebels, 17 and 3, 4 and 3 in the conference. Matchup predictor 70.9 for Auburn, 29.1 for Ole Miss. Brom leads the way for Auburn with 15.7. He also averaging 8.7 rebounds. Merle is the leading scorer for Ole Miss at 16.6. Flanagan averaging 7 boards a game. Scoring-wise, the Auburn Tigers average 82 a game. The Rebels, 76.5. Points allowed, Auburn, 65.9. Ole Miss, 70. Last 5 games for Auburn, they've really struggled. They lost to Mississippi State, lost to Alabama, and they did beat Ole Miss 82-59 earlier in the year. So they beat Vanderbilt and they beat LSU. The Rebels beat A&M. They beat Arkansas. They lost to Auburn, as we talked about, in a blowout. They lost to LSU, and they beat Vanderbilt. I tell you what, though, guys, this game is at Ole Miss, and I think the way Auburn's been playing, they've been struggling. As we saw, they have fallen 8 spots. Bruce Pearl might be looking sharp at the game, but I'm going to go hotty-toddy. Gosh almighty. Ole Miss going to put it on them, baby. Go Rebels!
Well, it seems like every year, somewhere in the middle, Auburn goes through the little funk. I don't know. They'll lose two out of 3, 3 out of 4. They seem like they've done this the last 3 to 4 years to me. You know, and I may be wrong on that, but it just seems like it. They start, man, they're hot, and you think they're one of the best teams in the nation. And then they'll pull some crap, and they'll lose 2 or 3 that there's no reason they should have lost, you know. But they just go through that mid-season funk, and then toward the end, he starts getting them, you know, lined out, and they start playing a lot better. But I think Ole Miss, to me, has been overrated all year. They're an 18-3 record. They're not ranked. And there's a reason they don't have near the wins that South Carolina with the same record has, who also is not ranked. But Ole Miss has flirted in there a couple times, you know, at 22, 23 and all that. But a team let LSU beat them like Ole Miss did. They're not for real. They're overrated. I've got to go with Auburn. Bruce Pearl's going to come in there. Like you said, just beat them by darn near 30 points. So Ole Miss can't match up with them. I got Auburn.
One thing to keep in mind, those Land Sharks 13-0 at home. But I love Bruce Pearl. He's going to come in and whoop them boys.
Gave us a little teaser, didn't he? So we different there. I'm out on the island.
Bruce Pearl, I think, is a better coach than the Ole Miss coach there. The former Texas Tech and Texas coach.
Chris Beard or something.
Beard, yeah, Chris Beard. Yeah. Something like
All right, now we're going to move to the Big 12 in a top 10 matchup. The Houston Cougars, 19-2, 8-2 in the conference, taking on the Kansas Jayhawks, 16-4. But get this, they are 4-3 in the Big 12. Houston has a 77.2% chance to win it. Kansas, even though they're at home, has a 22.8. I don't think that's probably ever happened.
I was shocked when I looked that up and I saw the matchup predictor. I was shocked.
Yeah, I don't think it's happened since Bill Self got there.
It didn't happen much before that with Roy Williams.
Sure didn't. That's right. All right, Cryer's leading for Houston, leading score at 15.1. McClure with 19.8 for KU. Roberts leading rebounder for Houston, 7.1. And, of course, Dixon for the Jayhawks, 11.3. Stat-wise, Houston averaging 74 a game, KU 79. Now, here's the difference. Houston has one hell of a defense.
Yeah.
They only give up 52.9 a game. KU gives up 68. Houston's last 5, they beat Texas 76-72 in overtime. They beat K-State 74-52. Beat BYU 75-68. Beat Central Florida, who also beat Kansas 57-42. And they beat those gunslingers from Lubbock 77-54. KU's last 5 lost to Iowa State, they beat Cincinnati, lost to West Virginia, beat Oklahoma State, and beat OU. But you know I'm a Mizzou Tiger, baby. And as they say, fuck KU. Go Cougars, baby.
Well, like you say, I was really shocked when I saw this matchup predictor. And Houston, man, they guard you when if they're coming to Kansas, they'll start guarding them when Houston gets off the bus this time. They'll go into guard mode. They'll start guarding people right then all the way into the locker room and out. But they really do. They get up on you. And Kansas has a little problem, whereas if you look at their bench production the last several games, there hasn't been any. They've got 5 guys. They're not finding that 6th or 7th guy to come in there and give them any break. Houston's type team can wear you down. They make it a grind. Every game is a grind and a battle. But I want to pick Houston, but they're playing in the fog, man. And I've seen these referees, they can't.
Here we go, referees.
They can't see good in the fog. They only see it Kansas's way. There's something about that fog.
It's foggy.
In Fog Allen, man, that Fog Allen Fieldhouse.
The ghost of fog.
Rock, chalk, J. That old eerie sound, and I think it scares the refs sometimes because I've seen them make calls that
I fear for their life.
There was a ghost in the fog, man. There's that you can't call that, and they gave Kansas. So with that being said, I'm going to pick Kansas at home. They're going to somehow pull this game out and beat number 4 Kansas, give them their 3rd loss. Give me Kansas.
I think Kansas going to be motivated being that big of an underdog, and I hate this guy, but Hunter Dickinson's going to have a field day. Yeah. I don't think they can match up with him in the paint, and he's going to get a lot of boards. And an interesting fact, Kansas shoots 50% from the field on the year. I think they're going to get them.
But they hadn't played a defense like Houston, but I got to go with Kansas at home myself.
Well.
Yep. You're out on that island, Mark.
Go Cougars.
That's not a bad island to be on, though. I tell you what.
That's right.
Those guys are good, and Kelvin Sampson's, he's a heck of a coach. He's been known to cheat a little bit in the past, but hey,
he wins everywhere he goes.
Like y'all said, though, they're bringing 40 minutes of hell.
Oh, yeah.
Start.
You're tired when you play Houston. I don't care if you do. Even if you got a 10-man bench, you're tired when you play these guys. That's the thing worries me about Kansas is no bench production for a lot of this year, especially here lately.
All right, we're going to stay in the Big 12 for the next one. Iowa State taking on Baylor. Iowa State 16-4, ranked number 12 in the nation. Baylor 18 at 14-5, 3-3 in the conference. Iowa State 43.9%, Baylor 56.1%. Lipsy leads the way for Iowa State at 13.9%. King leads the way for Iowa State in the rebounds, 5.5 a game. And it looks like Walter, the guard for Baylor, is averaging 15.2, and Missy, the center for Baylor, is 6.2 rebounds per game. Team stats. Iowa State averages 80 a game, while Baylor averages 85. Defensive-wise, on points allowed, Iowa State only giving up 61.8, while Baylor gives up 71.1. Iowa State's last 5 beat KU 79-75, beat K-State 78-67, and they beat those Horned Frogs from TCU 73-72. Lost to BYU somehow, 87-72. Beat the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Baylor's last 5. Lost to TCU, 105-102 in 3 overtimes. What a thriller that was. They lost to Texas, 75-73. Lost to K-State. Beat Cincinnati and beat BYU. So Baylor on a 3-game skid.
Hey,
but they will be at home.
That skid's over.
They won tonight.
Baylor
they won tonight.
Yeah, that's free money.
There you go. With that being said, At Baylor, I'm going to take Baylor as bad as I hate to, but I'm going to take them since they got their shit back together tonight. I'm going to take the Bears.
They did. They needed that win tonight, and they didn't look. It didn't look good, but every once in a while, I gave some of y'all that lock earlier. You know, because every once in a while you can pick a game. Maybe there's like 2 a week or so that Vegas just, if you watch out for them, Vegas is just like, here's y'all some money back so you can keep playing. Here you go, take this free money, and you got to know where to look, and you got to hit on them things quick. And I don't promote gambling, but if you do, you need to be responsible with it and everything like that. But that was a free one tonight. Baylor bounced back, beat UCF on the road. But I like you said, you mentioned it. Iowa State, they're on a roll, man, and the 10 points per game better defense. I think that's going to be the difference. I think Iowa State's going to go in there and they're going to keep right up there at the top of the Big 12 and keep rolling. I'm going to pick Iowa State to win that road game. I'm picking a road team there.
Yeah, Baylor looked good the last 10 minutes tonight. I think they're going to push the pace and win 2 in a row.
There you go. All right. Now, next we're going to go back to the SEC. So we're going between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Tennessee Vols.
I'll give you a little update real quick. Florida is up 91-87 in overtime against Kentucky right now, 92-87, 31.7 seconds left in overtime. You got a 5-point game with another free throw coming. Now, he missed it. So 5-point game, Kentucky ball. Anyway, there's your update.
Hey, both teams are 15-4, not counting the games that are going on tonight. 5-2 in the conference for the Wildcats. 5-1 for the Vols. Vols at 59.6, UK at 40.4. And the Vols had, as we know, Mr. Connect, and he can connect. He's averaging 19.5 a game, and Reed for UK is averaging 19.5 as well. Mitchell, the leading rebounder for UK, was 7 a game. Adu is the guy for Tennessee at 7.5. Point-wise, Tennessee averages 79.5. UK is averaging 88.5. Defensive-wise, points allowed, the Vols only giving up 66, where UK is giving up 76.3, and it's going to go up, it sounds like, because they're at 90 tonight, you said?
87, Kentucky.
Yeah, so we're going to say 90 time it's done. Tennessee's last 5, they beat Vanderbilt, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and lost earlier to Mississippi State. Kentucky's last 5, it looks like they're having trouble with the Gators right now. Beat Arkansas, lost to that tough South Carolina team we all been talking about. They beat Georgia, beat Mississippi State, and lost to A&M. And, man, I don't know. If Kentucky loses this one, will they lose 2 in a row at Rupp Arena, man? I cannot. That would be crazy. But with that being said,
I got me almost ready to change my pick.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine. No, I'm not. I'm going to stick with Tennessee on the road. Good old Rocky Top, baby. Always be home sweet home to me.
Yeah, I'm sitting here just about thinking about changing because I had Tennessee picked. I don't like to pick Kentucky. I hate to pick a team and hope I'm wrong, but sometimes you have to do that. But like you said, how many times Kentucky gonna lose 2 in a row at home? It doesn't happen often, in the Rupp Arena. Excuse me, Rip Off.
Rip Arena.
But I think Tennessee's problem in that last game they lost, man, didn't get any help. And little Ziegler had 2 points, 2 free throws. That's it. I don't know why none of the rest of them decided to show up or play. Connect had 31, I think it was, in that last game. The team didn't score 70, I don't believe, altogether. So basically he was out there, and he's going to show up every game, man. That kid is for real. good player. But if they can get some help, I think they're going to go in there. I'm not going to change my pick because I think Tennessee's going to go in there and get it right and turn it around and beat Kentucky at home. That's going to be another loss for Kentucky. Just a young team. They got more experience. This Ziegler, who's that little left-handed shooting guard they got? Tennessee been there for
That's him.
several years. No, he's the point guard. There's a little white boy that's a
little French boy or so.
starts
Yeah.
with a starts with a
Oh,
V.
okay, yeah.
Starts with a V, I believe. But I think he's gonna get it going. Vescovi. That's it.
Yeah.
Vescovi, this Adu, and that James guy that's a wing player. I think they're gonna get a little more offense help for Connect in that game. So give me Tennessee with all that being said.
I'd pick Arkansas State against Kentucky. There's only one blue and white, baby. Go Vols.
Community lock.
Woo! That's right, baby. There's only one blue and white. And speaking of blue and white, it's going to bring us to our next game and our final pick of the night. I bet there is no issues and no doubt who Eddie's going to pick there. All right. Duke Blue Devils, 16-4, 7-2 in the conference. Tar Heels now 17-4, 9-1 in the conference. Like Doug said, he knew they wasn't going to go 20-0 in the conference, but he would have loved to see it. Wouldn't you, Dougie? You would have loved that, wouldn't you? We would have never heard the end of that story.
I would have took it, yeah, but I never, I didn't think we would. Like I said, I'm not Arkansas fan. I'm not delusional.
All right, matchup predictor: Duke 33.6, North Carolina 66.4. Filipowski leads the way for the Blue Devils at 17.5. Davis leads the way for the Tar Heels at 21.2. Filipowski averaging 8.7 rebounds a game. Baycott with 10 a game. Assist leaders: Proctor at 3.9. Cadu at 3.7. Team stat: Duke averages 81 a game. Carolina 83 a game. Points allowed: 67.2 for Duke, 69 for Carolina. North Carolina was on a 10-game winning streak before. Duke's on a 3-game winning streak, beating Virginia Tech, Clemson, Louisville. They lost to Pitt, and they beat Georgia Tech. North Carolina's last 5, they beat Florida State, Wake, Boston College, Louisville, and Syracuse before getting stung by those Yellow Jackets last night. Hey, I think we all know who I'm going to pick, baby. And it's right here. Go Blue Devils, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. We got stung by Teddy Valentine and crew last night. But like I said, we've been
happy Valentine's Day, Dougie.
We've been beat one time this year, and that was by UConn. And I don't see it happening here. We're back at home. We played. I saw something the other day with how many road games we played in the month of January. Well, guess what? Here in just a couple hours, January's over. We're going to move on into February. We're coming back home to the Dean Dome, baby. The Dean Dome. And I'm going to tell you what else is going to make a difference. Not only being at home, but we average almost as a team about 6 more rebounds per game than y'all. Harrison Ingram here in the last 5-6 games is averaging probably 15 rebounds. The boy's a dog. He's going to get in there. He does all the little things. Hit an open 3 if you leave him out there. R.J. Davis, the ACC leading scorer and leading candidate for player of the year right now. He's going to have another big game. We got to go to him and go to him often and early and often. Cadeau needs to settle down on the one-on-one driving, and when that works, that works. But I'll tell you something with Cadeau. I don't know if y'all watched that game where he lit before Georgia Tech. They fouled him out real quick on 4 fouls that weren't fouls last night. You can go back and look at it. Kid didn't do nothing. Didn't even reach. Foul, foul, foul. he was out of the game quick, got very few minutes. But the game before that against Florida State, man, he was driving, shooting layup after layup after layup. But I don't understand it. He can't hit his butt outside the paint. He can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot a 3-pointer. Why would you guard him? If I'm coaching, and this is a trick, and y'all's guy may figure it out. Play in the paint. If he's got the ball out there up top, don't even guard him. Play at the free throw line. Play in the paint. He can't shoot. But anyway, with all that, North Carolina's going to roll. We know they're going to beat Duke. They're going to hold home court. We're in first place in the ACC. We're the best team. We'll end up dropping. Houston will lose, so that'll be the number 4 team losing, 3 team loss. We may drop 1 spot in the polls for losing at Georgia Tech's road game, man. We're not going to win every conference game. Go Tar Heels, baby!
I got you an interesting fact on Shire. He was only 3-5 as a player against the Hills, but good news, he's coaching now, and he ain't lost yet. No need to start. 2-0, Filipowski dominated your Baycott, boy. It's going to happen again. We own the paint. Roach shuts down your boy Davis. Game over. Duke by 4.
Hey, and you know what? That leads you back to the little pesky things you don't like in North Carolina, and that's a roach, baby.
No, and y'all have had the roach for about 8 years. It seems like
it does seem like
that. But you know what? We fix to spray some Raid. We get that. We're gonna get Mosquito Joe's other side over there and come out there and get rid of them pests. That's right.
Mosquito Joe only gets rid of yellow jackets.
Well, we're gonna get rid.
Hey, we're gonna make a side bet on this though. How many times is it the ref's fault, Mark?
Hey, I'll tell you
how many calls they gonna miss.
All night long, as Lionel Richie would say, all night long, baby.
I'll tell you who's gonna get rid of the roach. His name's R.J. Davis. If you want to look at the past matchups, he lights that boy up every time they play. He averages about 6-7 rebounds on him and 15, 16 points every time they match up.
I tell you what, RJ's going to go in that lane, and then Eddie's going to have to start worrying about a job because Filipowski's going to swat them basketballs like Eddie does mosquitoes. You hear me?
we going to see Saturday at 5:30.
Baycott's an 8th-year player and couldn't handle Filipowski as a freshman.
I ain't worried about Baycott. We don't have to have Baycott do much to guard the paint area. He ain't even scoring much this year or rebounding much. The last, I'd say 7 to 8 games, mainly in conference, Ingram's out rebounding. Ingram's got a nose for that ball, man. That kid's a dog. He does every little thing that needs to be done. Plays defense. This team plays together. They play good defense. Cormac Ryan's due to get hot. He supposedly was a shooter. He ain't been a shooter. He's shooting 30% from threes. He needs to have a game where he breaks out and hits 4 out of 5 or something like that. But I like the kid. He battles hard. He guards his guy. He plays good defense. He doesn't get burned like you look at him, you'd think, man, he couldn't guard his shadow. But he's a good defender and hustles hard. I say the Heels are going to take this game. It's going to end up being about 7-8 points. You want to score?
We will see Saturday, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, for all our listeners out there that want to come meet us, we'll be in West Memphis at the casino watching the North Carolina Tar Heels get beat by mine and Eddie, Duke Blue Devils, baby.
About 5 minutes in, just listen for someone yelling at the TV. That's where we're at. It'll be Doug.
That damn referee!
Anybody knows basketball knows the other night. Even y'all's boy, Jay Williams, your old Duke guard, good player too, hates North Carolina. He can't say that being an analyst and all that. Even he knew. He was like, did we not hear the whistle? Wait, they knocked him down. It hasn't been a foul. He even knew that last play was a foul. RJ's going to step up there shooting 94% from free throw lines and win the game right there, which should have happened. The guy knocked him down as he was going to the basket. Come on.
Your man created contact because he was bending over. It's not a foul.
because he was driving to the basket. Yeah, he
No,
created the
no.
contact because he's a whole lot quicker than that big boy.
Showed his mind. Just held his ground. That's all he did. That's all you got to do.
They were
ball
running
game
full.
over.
They were running full
Your
steam.
ass got
They
swelled
were
up
running
by a
full
yellow
steam.
jacket,
Even
baby.
your boy Jay
And now
Williams
you're
knew
going
it.
to get pitchforked by a Blue Devil come Saturday, baby.
Even your boy Jay Will knew it. Hey, I guarantee you could ask that flat earther Kyrie Irving and he'd even know it.
Well, Jay Will is an ESPN guy now, so there you go.
He's still a North Carolina hating dookie. Once won, always won.
There you go.
But
all right, hey, that's going to conclude our show for this week. That's Doug Edwards, and that is my man, Eddie Derrick. Eddie, thanks for joining us, man. We sure appreciate it.
Thank y'all for having me one more time so Doug don't forget.
Best of luck on your picks. But I figure I'm going to wind up ahead again this week.
Oh, here we go with some more shit.
Hey,
we'll see you next week right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. And this is what you got to do to Doug. Just cut him off.
Bye.